Back this morning with Dave White from New York Sea Grant, and we're here to talk about National Safe Boating Week and a few other things. I'm sure will come up in the conversation. How are you?
Yeah.
Good morning. Good to see you.
All in your gear here.
I am. I'm ready to go.
Is that the message? Wear it.
Wear it. It is the message. It's a national campaign. The state has embraced, and it is all about wear it. And it's just two words talking about wear your life jacket.
Is that it?
You know, obviously I've been here before. We talk about it up until this past April 30. Everybody out on the water on a boat had to wear it, and now we're into the summer, early, late spring season kind of thing, and it's always the recommendation because we continue to hear about drownings, and almost every drowning that occurs with someone out on the water off a boat could be prevented with a life jacket being worn.
Yeah, we're looking at a few different options for life vests, and those are the ones that go over your neck.
They've become a lot more comfortable too.
They are. I mean, you know, the old ugly orange ones I've had before, and then you've got the Type 3, and you know, the thing that's real popular, and folks are probably sitting at home just thinking I have what's referred to as kind of the fanny pack, but we always wear them on the belly, is this is a life jacket.
Yeah.
This is one of the
not even
inflatables.
cumbersome at all.
I mean, most people wouldn't even know that I have it on, and I've had the collar one on before, and I'll just pop it open. You know, if you fall overboard,
and there it is.
there it is. And you know, in this case, you know, you obviously would have to be conscious, but you can put it right up over your neck. It's very bright colored.
But even if you can't put it around your neck and you're hurt, or you can at
got
least
it.
float
You're
it.
going to grab it. You can float with it. It's there. It's attached to me.
And it's yellow.
It's bright colored.
Yeah.
If you know, if it started to deflate, you can add more to it. It's got, you know, whistles on it. So yeah, and most people probably didn't even know I was wearing it. So whether you're fishing, I mean, great for if you're out canoeing because it's not bulky while you're trying to move around and do activities. So it's a great. It's, you know, it's the newest type that's out there. And
that would
wonderful.
definitely be for an adult because kids
Yes.
should have theirs on.
Correct. Right.
We have a couple of different pictures, I think, too, of as you're mentioning, it should be any kind of a boat, whether it's a small boat or a larger boat, but whomever is on that should be. Now, why is it more important during, like, spring months to have these as well? Because and I think I'm going to answer it, but is it because the water is so cold?
The water is so cold, and you know, we've all been in cold water. I mean, you know, no matter what time of year, and you jump in, you go, ooh, and the first thing it does is shock your system. And the colder that water is, the more of the shock. And your body's not used to it yet. Many times you're in maybe a current flow of a river or a stream, or you're out alone, whatever it may be, but it just shocks your body, and it begins to obviously send you towards hypothermia. So now you're also struggling, which means you're exerting body energy, and you just can't keep up with it. And that's why it's so critically important during this time of year. I mean, it may be 80 degrees out, but the water's still 40 degrees.
Right.
And that temperature shock is absolutely huge.
And it all comes down to respecting the water.
It really does. It really does.
And, you know, we're reporting on the drowning that happened at Lamson Falls over the weekend, and you, knowing Central New York as well, Herkimer County had a drowning as well, and that was somebody in the cold water.
Cold water in the Mohawk River, another college student. I mean, we've lost it. You know, it happens every year, and we all think about it. But then, you know, most of us don't think about taking it with us. It does. It sounds like a lot of fun. You know, swimmers as well. You know, especially this time of year. You know, have something with you. Put something on. You know, there's no reason you can't have the life jacket on, even if you're going in swimming and jumping in the creek and river. Again, most of these drownings could have been prevented if they had some kind of life jacket on, whether it is a type, you know, an inflatable type, the hard type, whichever it might be.
Good to know.
It's the National Safe Boating Week. It's May 16th through the 23rd, New York Sea Grant with Dave White, part of the educational part of that campaign, but you'll probably hear a lot more about it as we move through the season.
Two things to remind people, flares are dated, and always check your fire extinguishers.
Oh, before the boating season.
Before the boating season,
because
flares are dated. They last about 3 years. There's a date right on them. So check the date on it and check your fire extinguisher because they will discharge over the winter.
And you know that the U.S. Coast Guard will check those as they
yes,
board
they
your
will.
boat.
They'll be more than happy to.
Yes, they will. And you got to make sure they're up to date. Dave, thanks. Back here in a couple.